Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about insecurity, what it means, how it creeps up in our life, and how it affects our relationships, how it affects our well-being, how it affects our goals, all about insecurity and how to kick it in the butt in today's happy hour episode with me, Anna Morfides from Many Hearts Counseling. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into it because I feel as a person who had acquired as a child an insecure attachment style, I am no stranger to the feeling of being insecure, because insecure attachment style basically means just that. So I did take down some notes because I want to make sure that I contribute the importance of why insecurity exists in our life, what's the purpose of it really is, and how to get rid of it once and for all so it doesn't prevent us from doing the things that we want to embark on, whether it is a relationship, a goal, or our personal well-being. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how it affects our well-being. So insecurity is feeling inadequate, uncertain, having a lack of self-confidence, and it shows up in these ways. It shows up as anxiety, self-doubt, fear of failure, and fear of judgment. So we're going to go through each one of these and talk about them. So insecurity as a form of inadequacy. Somewhere along the line, we have learned that we're not good enough, we're not adequate enough. And scientists do say that sometimes it is just as simple of finding out what that particular moment was in our life. That's why regression therapy is really good for this modality, or EMDR. They both will take you back to the origin of that particular learned core belief that you are not good enough, essentially. And sometimes just knowing that, where it came from, it can just be let go. Because then you remember that this is not true and you see where it came from. And sometimes that's all the body needs in order to not keep that score anymore and just to let it go. Uncertainty, again, same thing. Insecurity shows up as uncertain in your behaviors, uncertain if you are smart enough, uncertain if you're good enough, uncertain if you're pretty enough, uncertain if you are fun enough, uncertain about anything. Again, where did you learn that behavior? Because when we are born, we are actually born with the intention to be whole and complete. And yes, science and biologists, in particular cell biologists, do say that when we're in our womb, we are already absorbing ideas and beliefs about the world through our environment around us, because the brain is operating at a theta wave state, and a child also operates up until I think they're 7 years old in a theta wave state, which is very susceptible, like a sponge. This is like your dreamlike state where you absorb the beliefs about the world. And I noticed actually this past weekend, I was around a lot of other parents and young or teenagers due to a tournament. And I was noticing that most of us do operate below the line and are quote unquote negative. Like, most people don't say things in a way that is encouraging or gratitude-y. It seems like, and that's why cognitive behavioral therapy really focuses on never to speak in absolute sort of terms, like they will never win. It is too hot for them to do good. My mom will never forgive me. He will never like me. Like, we are affirming these statements that are not what we want to experience because we want to win. We want to be liked. Like, whatever it is that we're saying out loud, we actually want the opposite. So when we say, if I'm listening to a teenage conversation and they say my mom will never forgive me, what that person actually wants is to be forgiven. But where did they learn that they cannot be forgiven? Or one of my daughter's like beliefs that she carries is like about the world being hard and you have to work hard to like earn things. Where did she learn this about you have to work, like life is hard? I guess that's what it is. Like life is hard. It's an intergenerational pattern and way of being that we have acquired from society, from years and years and years now, like decades, if not centuries of that belief becoming concrete. And yes, during the wars, life did feel a lot harder, but a lot, like my grandpa carried that sense of life is hard. It's hard to make money doesn't come easy. Then that gets downloaded, and my grandpa and my husband's grandpa had the same belief. That gets downloaded to our parents download that to us, and then I guess inadvertently we're downloading the same thing to our children, but now we have the awareness to turn that around. So we shift that into where did you acquire this belief and how can we change it? Same with insecurity. When did you start feeling that inadequacy, the uncertainty? Where did you get your lack of self-confidence? Was it maybe because you played a sport and you weren't good at that particular sport and you were made fun of, and your body like kept that score and internalized that as you're not good? Like what happened? Because everything is for everyone. Just because, say, for example, my son is not really good at hockey, but he's really good at golf, for an example, does not make it mean that he's inadequate. It just makes it mean that he's more well suited for something else, for a different experience. But I feel that maybe that awareness was I kind of know that just from my upbringing as well, and my partner's upbringing and their parents' upbringing. This is a lot of how society thinks and feels mostly, right? Like if they see someone successful, oh, they got really lucky. But like in essence, did they get lucky, or did they believe that can be a part of their life, or they believed in themselves, or they didn't have a lack of self-confidence, they had self-confidence? And where does self-confidence come from? It comes from your attachment style. What attachment style did you acquire as a child? Because now we know that there's 4 attachment styles: insecure, avoidant, disorganized, and secure. So one of the attachment styles, the anxious one, produces a negative self-view, which is really low self-confidence, no self-confidence. So it comes from somewhere. How do you acquire your attachment style? You acquire it via your interactions with your primary caregiver. But the interactions that you're going to have with your primary caregiver also depend on the interactions that they had with their primary caregiver, right? Like everything is a learned behavior. And biologists and science actually does say today that 95% of our brain operates subconsciously, and that subconscious matter was developed from when we are in our womb up until we're 7, sometimes 12 years old, but mostly 7. We absorb situations in the theta wave state that we are in, and it becomes hardwired programming in our mind, and it fires signals about who we are. And then our conscious mind, which is in the prefrontal cortex or prefrontal lobe, is 5% only. And because as humans, we are thinking constantly all the time, and we're not always conscious of our thoughts. So when the conscious mind, which is 5% of our brain, is thinking and is not paying attention, the 95% of our subconscious mind is kicking in and is saying all this information through its hardwired system that it already has acquired, and it becomes emotions, and then the emotions go into feelings, and then those feelings produce behaviors. So if we are insecure, and that can show up in our behavior as anxiety. And what really is anxiety? Anxiety is fear of the future. What are you fearing? It can be self-doubt. Again, where are you doubting that you deserve to have something that you are thinking and feeling that you're not worthy of having? They can't like me. They'll never have me be part of their friends group. I can never get that job. They wouldn't hire me. I wouldn't make it to this university. Why? Why are you saying that? Where did you acquire that? You don't have to believe that, because if you don't try, you'll never know if something is meant for you. And again, if you try and you don't get into that university, or you don't get into this relationship or this friend group, that doesn't mean that you are not good. That just means that there's something else out there for you that is better suited for you. And if we approach life in this way, imagine how much different it could be if we thought, no, my mom can forgive me. I am already forgiven because I forgive myself. Life is going to be full of errors, and it's going to be full of quote unquote mistakes, challenges. It's just going to be full of that. We can't escape that. But what do we do after that when we find ourselves in those situations? Are you going to continue to be in insecurity and have anxiety, self-doubt? And then another way that insecurity shows up is fear of failure or judgment. What are you failing at? You're not essentially failing at anything. Because when you think of failure, if you try something and it doesn't work out, is it really failing, or is it, I tried something, it's not working out, something else is going to come in for me? I tried to ask out that person, they said no. What am I learning from that experience? And why am I not in a belief system that what is meant to come find me will find me? I don't have to worry about it, because I don't have insecurity. I have a good self-confidence. I am certain about who I am. I feel like I'm adequate. I don't have any anxiety because I'm not fearing of the future, because I know the future can only be from my highest good, no matter what happens, however it is unfolding. Even if it's a no, I just know that another yes is coming. And no doesn't mean that I'm not good enough. It just means that that wasn't meant to be for me. And imagine if we taught our children this, that life should feel easy. Life is easy. Yes, we the 4 agreements, right? Like, we do the best that we can. That doesn't mean that we just sit back and like let things come to us. No, we do the best that we can in any given point in time, and we act with integrity, with the awareness that we have in the moment. We don't take anything personally, and we don't assume anything. And yes, the first one is like, we do our best. We always do our best, and we try our best, and no fear. And then again, fear of judgment that shows up in insecurity. Who's judging you? Are you judging yourself? What's your inner dialogue? What are you saying about yourself in your head when you look in the mirror? When you think about embarking in a relationship, or applying for a job, or playing a certain sport? What's your inner dialogue? What are you saying? Pay attention to it. Because it will affect your relationships, your goals, and your well-being, because your thoughts create emotions. Emotions is energy in motion, which will lead to your behaviors, but that energy and motion around you is what is going to be bringing in your experiences. So if you feel insecure in your relationships, you're going to continue to bring people in that's going to make you feel that way, insecure. And then you have to listen to the voice of the insecurity, because it's there for a reason. Don't be afraid of it. Ask it the questions. Why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? So for me, insecurity was like, who's going to love me? What's what's wrong with me. And essentially, I need to love me. Nothing is wrong with me. I learned just from my childhood, the way that I was raised, to think and feel that no matter what I did, was not good enough. So I had to switch that. And how do we do that? Meditation, affirmations, affirming the complete opposite, mindfulness, there's breath work, there's like all sorts of counseling therapy. There's EMDR, which is part of the counseling therapy. There's just so many ways to rewire and reform your insecurities into a secure attachment style and a positive self-view and kick anxiety. I have so many videos on, not feeling. I think I should link actually the one about not feeling anxiety and how to kick it in the butt, because it serves a purpose, but the purpose is not to hold you back from what you want to experience. The purpose of it is to help you heal what is apparently a childhood wound or an unhelpful core belief that you acquired on an attachment style that is not the one that is most ideal for you to be in your best version of self, to bring in the best version experiences of life that can be in your vibrational field. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today and always. I'm so grateful for you, for every comment, like, subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast or the YouTube, I really appreciate you. If you liked anything about the content, give it a thumbs up. Any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Any suggestions for future video topics, I also really welcome that as well. With all my love and gratitude, I'll see you next time.